is Thursday, January 18th. We're kicking things off by helping you get organized and become more efficient in the new year. So I'm happy to welcome Kristin MacRae of Organizing in Rhode Island. Kristin, hey, how are you?
Hi, Molly. How are you?
Good. It's always good. We are always glad to have you.
It's always fun to be here.
Especially on Thursday to help us kick things off. So I'm super excited about today's conversation. Last week we talked a little bit about helping people in their New Year's resolutions, in their goals, and kind of getting people back on track. So we went back to basics last week. So you kind of came up with the idea of really helping people continue on those basic skill sets. And so today we're going to talk about some projects that you can complete in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're simple, easy projects. Again, we want to ease you in. We don't want to stress you out and overwhelm you. So by March, you've given up. We don't want that to happen.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So this kind of goes back to those roots of decluttering. Talk to us about how decluttering is kind of the first step in that organizational process.
It's always the first step because before you can get organized, you have to declutter because you don't want to start shifting things around and moving things around that you really don't need. So the first step is to actually clear that clutter, empty everything out of that space, and start thinking about what do you want, what don't you want, and that way you can start categorizing from there because the last thing you want to do is organize stuff that you don't want. Basically, in a nutshell.
Okay, that's great. So let's kind of jump into this. And you said these are projects that you can either do on your own or with a family. Talk to me about that.
So you want it. There are some of these projects we're going to talk about today. Your kids can totally get involved. I want you to get the kids involved. So often today, the parents are doing everything for the kids, and they're not transferring that skill set to the child, which is going to set them up going into their adult life. They're going to actually turn into my adult clients because they don't have that organizational skill set to run a household, so it's going to leave them overwhelmed and stressed out and anxious. So I want you to incorporate the kids into some of these projects. As we go through, you'll see that how we'll incorporate the kids, but it's so important to teach them this organizational skill set and give them the independence to take care of their own things.
Okay, so we have 12 projects that you can complete, having a tough time apparently today, complete in about 30 minutes or less. Okay, so number one, which I think is super fun. All these are super fun. 30 minutes or less for these organizational projects you can complete. Number one, shoes.
Now, 30 minutes or less. Now, if you have an entire closet dedicated to shoes, it might take you a little longer than that.
I know some people who have multiple closets.
I have clients
shoes.
that have, yes, it happens. But easy, quick project. Again, you'll notice the process. I'm not going to go through the process for every single one of these, but the process is going to be take everything out, declutter, categorize, itemize. But with the shoes, I want you to think about a few things. So I want you to think, are your shoes collecting dust? If you have dust on any of your shoes, then I want you to think about when the last time was you wore these pair of shoes. Are they out of style? Are the heels, you know how the heel on the bottom of a shoe, you'll start to see the metal on it? Like, that's a big, okay, let's throw these shoes away because you're going to kill yourself.
Or someone else.
Or someone else. So I want you to think about shoes. So what are you wearing? What aren't you wearing? What's collecting dust? What can get thrown away? What can get donated? Think about that, and then think about how you want to function going forward in that space. For your kids, they all have shoes. Everybody's got shoes in the family. So do yours and then transfer the skill set to your child and say, okay, what are you wearing? What aren't you wearing? And then, believe it or not, they're going to be able to tell you what they still like and what they don't like and what doesn't fit. So a quick project, shoes.
Okay, I love this too because you mentioned those if you have heels and literally the spike is coming out of it. Or say you lose a zipper or button, whatever. Think about your shoes. I've had to make this realization because I like shoes a lot. What do you want to invest in? So if it's a pair of heels that you love that are broken, we have cobblers. We have shoe repair people here that are great in this city. So if it's a pair of shoes that you love, that you want to invest in, that will hold up, then spend the money. If not, toss them.
I agree, totally. So make that decision, but don't let them sit in your closet another 5 months before you take them to the cobbler. So put them in the car, put it on your to-do list, and then take them to the cobbler because I see that too. They're like, oh, I'm going to get these fixed, but then I come back in a year and the same pair of shoes is there.
It's the same one. You're like, oh, interesting. Okay, number two. Hair accessories.
Oh, this is another good one. So quick project, where are they? Are they, again, follow the process, but then think about, are they all over your house? Are they I've seen them in kitchen drawers, in bathroom drawers, in bedrooms. You want to get them all in one place in the house because what happens is when you're rushing to go find one and you can't find it, now you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, and you probably grab an elastic, a rubber band to tie your hair back with. So I want you to think about getting them all together in one spot in the house and then organize them there. And actually, what are you using? What's ripped? What's broken? What can you throw away? And then to incorporate the kids, again, give them their own little space. I organized a little vanity for a first grader. We organized out all her hair accessories, so now she has the independence of going to grab an elastic in the morning and doesn't have to, bother the mom with that. So she can actually grab what she needs and do her own hair or have the mom help her. But so give them their own space for these hair accessories too.
How do you feel about multiple locations? Because I find that I took your advice and I made my little station in my room. I put all my bobby pins in one place, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, but then it's like I'm downstairs. I don't want to go upstairs and do this. I'm constantly looking for hair ties. So I do leave them around the house. And then it's great. So I'm like, oh, here's one just on the floor. I needed bobby pins this morning and I found like 3 on the floor. I'm like, so convenient that they're just on the floor.
Oh, Molly.
So is it okay to have set up multiple stations? So like one for your kids, one for yourself in your bathroom or your vanity, and then maybe like a miscellaneous station if you're lucky enough to have a guest bathroom, because maybe your guests need hair ties. Like go to the dollar store and get some.
So, good point. But what happens is when you say miscellaneous, that makes me sweat. So
well, the heat did just kick.
I know, and I'm having a hot flash too. So I want you to think about hair accessories. So definitely give your kids. Some kids have their own bathrooms.
Yeah.
Give them that space for themselves. Have your own space. Now, as far as like that miscellaneous, I tend not to go towards it because I want you to be able to find something when you need it, and you're going to that bathroom second drawer to grab your elastics, and they're there, and you can go about your day. So, but the guest bath, sure, if you have guests coming over, definitely organize a little space in there. As long as these spots are contained and organized, you don't want to just come home and throw elastics in the junk drawer in the kitchen, because then think about how many things you're touching before you need to find an elastic.
Exactly.
So you can have those multiple spots where they're supposed to be bathrooms or kids' rooms and just have them organized. But as far as like picking them up off the floor, Molly.
Bobby pins fall out.
They're everywhere.
All right. Kids games. Number 3.
All right, so incorporate your kids again on this one. So it's a quick project. Just focus on games. I'm not telling you to go downstairs and like tear apart the basement right now. I just want you to focus on games. Think about, is there a closet you can store these games in? So think about how you want to function going forward with these. Maybe the spot they're in now, they're just thrown all over the place. Maybe invest in like a cute little bookshelf where you can put these games on a bookshelf so they're contained. And again, get the kids involved. It happens so often where the kids will get involved and they'll say, I don't want this, I know I don't want this, we're not playing with it. The parents are the ones that say, oh,
I remember that game.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's a memory, put it in a memorabilia bin. But if you know the kids, if they're really not going to play with it, they're not going to play with it. So get it out of the house, donate it. And if this is a good time to look at puzzles. If the puzzle pieces are missing or pieces to the games are missing, get rid of them. Just get rid of them. And a good way to contain puzzle pieces, if the puzzle pieces are there, put them in a Ziploc bag and label the puzzle. That way they're all contained in that Ziploc bag. Sometimes the boxes get ripped.
Yeah. So this is a good one. It can be really quick and easy, or it can be really hard because you tend to spend a lot of money on this. Number 4, winter coats.
So this is another, the hall closet. So take a look. So go to the hall closet where they're stored, or your bedroom closet, or wherever you keep them. Just focus on coats. Go through the house and find all your winter coats. This is a time of year too where a lot of donations, like a lot of places will take donations for winter coats, so you won't feel bad about feeling guilty about keeping it because you don't know what to do with it. There's so many great, I'm not sure if that you might know, but
oh yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places that will take the donations. So, and aside from that, it's a great time of year to do it because what have you been wearing this season? Think about what have you been wearing, what's ripped. So just focusing on the coats, and then take your kids' coats and take them through the process too.
Okay, and yeah, definitely utilizing that donation.
Yes.
Area. Okay, sorry, I lost my place.
That's good.
Number 5, under the bed.
Oh.
Ooh, spooky.
So this is a good one. So right now under my bed, there's nothing. I just dusted it the other day. Nothing under the bed. Some people have, though, your kids' beds. When I've organized kids, we find water bottles, we found memorabilia, I find baseball cards, I find trash, there's so much stuff under the bed. So take a look under, and again, easy project, you're not getting overwhelmed because we're focusing on these one space at a time. Under the bed, pull everything out, look and see what's under there, what's been accumulating. Is it your kids' memorabilia under their bed? If so, and you don't have a memorabilia bin, this is the time to grab that memorabilia bin and contain all these, you know what I found, like those ribbons that you get now, the kids get those ribbons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The kids don't have a spot for them, so they're throwing them under the bed. Why, I don't know, but that's where they are.
It's the new thing.
It's a new thing. So baseball cards, if the kids don't have an area to contain their baseball cards with a bin with a lid on it, this is the time to get those containers for them. So again, a small project, but you're going to find there's a lot of things that you might not have systems for. This is a great time to create those systems.
Okay. Number 6, magazines.
Oh, this is another good one. They're fun projects because, again, you're focusing on this one thing. Go around the house and see how many magazines you have. What's collecting dust? And then reevaluate. Think about how long it's taking you to read these magazines. Do you have too many coming in the house at this time? Like, they're so inexpensive now where you can get these subscriptions where they're so cheap that people are just like, yeah, send me all of them. So think about, is it time to cancel some subscriptions? How long is it taking you to read them? And then, again, if they're collecting dust in a basket in the den or in your bedroom, again, it's not going with the positive energy flowing through your house because it's collecting dust and it's stagnant energy. Think about getting rid of them. So go through your magazines. That's a fun project to do right now.
Yeah, that's super easy to do. Toss them in the recycle bin if you don't need them.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like use it for vision boards.
Oh, yeah.
So many people are doing these vision board classes now. If you want to take a vision board class or save them to give them to, you can donate them to someone that might need them. You could do that too. So if you don't want to, you feel guilty about that.
You don't need your magazines from 2014.
No.
Okay, next one, spices. Great time of year to do this because the holidays are over, so you're probably done cooking. Clean it up.
Yes, so you won't believe, so I'm doing this online challenge in the first week we did spices, and people were like, oh, I'm not going to have expired spices. You won't believe how many expired spices you're going to have if you haven't taken everything out of your spice cabinet. Quick project, everything out, and just look at those expiration dates, and if something's from like 2012, you could be like, oh my God, it's been since 2012 since I cleaned out this spice cabinet. Yeah. So you're going to be in for some surprises, but make sure you have a pen and paper handy when you're replenishing, to replenish those spices that you're throwing away. So, and Job Lot, I think, has like dollar spices. Like
Price Right has really good spices.
Cheap spices.
Also, you can get at farmers market. There's a ton of businesses around here that
they make their own.
They do their own. They dry them out, so you can get local spices right here in Rhode Island.
Yes.
Too. So always check out the farmers markets for that as well.
Yeah.
I think it would be really fun to do maybe with you on any of your social media pages.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time.
That's okay.
Social media pages do like a spice challenge. Who has the oldest?
That's a really good idea. All right, let's do it.
I know someone who could definitely.
All right, we'll do it.
All right, number 8, makeup.
Another good one, makeup. So quick project. Makeup expires. People don't realize that makeup does expire, and I know people who have tons of makeup in their cabinets and in their vanities, and they're not using them. They're expired. I mean, how much do you need at this point? How much makeup do you need? And what are you using? What aren't you using? And even your kids, if you're teens, they have makeup, talk to them about, getting this organized on a vanity. There's so many great containers out there that hold all this stuff that, again, in the morning, you want to grab and go. You don't want to touch 5 lipsticks before the lipstick that you need. So, quick, easy project.
Okay, number 9, your undergarment or your underwear drawer.
Yes.
This makes so much sense to get this organized.
Yeah, because how many of you don't have drawer organizers in your underwear drawer right now, or even your bras or unmentionables, whatever you want to call it? Drawer organizers will help you keep them contained. And people will say, Kristin, I don't have time to roll up my underwear and put it in a drawer organizer. But listen, if your underwear's and bras are all thrown in one drawer, you're only wearing what's on top. It's getting washed and you're putting those back on top of that pile. So I want you to take everything out and say, oh my God, there's been stuff at the bottom of this drawer I haven't worn in years, because you're just recycling the top to wash, and it's just like a little cycle. So once you have drawer organizers, it doesn't mean you have to fold them really pretty, but as long as they're contained, that way you can see everything you have and you can pick out different things to wear.
And probably, too, if you just take everything out of the drawer, take a look at what you have, there's probably things in there that you're just not realistically going to wear anymore.
Yes, so that's where the decluttering, as you're taking out, declutter, and then you're going to see what you have left, and you might need to buy new things, or you might want to get those drawer organizers, measure the space, height, width, length, and purchase those drawer organizers.
And once you do it, then you can treat yourself to something new that goes in that drawer.
There you go.
That's what I say.
I love
Reward
it.
Yourself. All right, number 10, under the bathroom sink, which is not as much fun as those other ones, but...
Yeah, that's like the under the kitchen sink kind of thing. Yeah, so you have stuff under there. What happens is, again, if you don't have bins in place, categorized and organized, what happens is you buy lotion and it gets pushed to the back. Now you're buying new stuff. The old stuff's getting pushed to the back without ever taking everything out to declutter. So take everything out and figure out what was back there. You're going to have lotions, half-empty bottles. Mm-hmm. So again, think about your kids' bathroom too, getting them in the habit of, now once it's organized, create little bins labeled with your hair products and then lotions and other things. So that way when you need something, you can find it. That's what it's all about.
You're not wasting that extra money that you always talk about.
Yeah, and the money too. Yeah.
Money, time. Mm-hmm. Okay, pets.
Why not?
11, number pets.
I love our pets. And why can't they be organized?
They should be.
Right. And it's a quick project. And I know people that have pets out there have food all over the place and clothing and medications. They have just as much stuff as us sometimes with
toys.
That. Oh my God, Gigi has over 100 toys. We counted last week. And I'm not decluttering them.
That's where I draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. She has a bin downstairs and a bin upstairs. But anyway, that's besides the point. So her medications are organized. We bought a little piece that has, it's just for her. It's a little rolling cart. It's got everything in it for her. So when I need something for her, you know, you can grab it when you need it. So think about their medications expire, things like that, and they grow out of their little coats. Same thing is with us. So this is a fun one for your kids too, to maybe incorporate them give them a little bit of responsibility with the pet and see, you know, what's going on there.
And if you are decluttering your pet stuff, there are always local animal shelters and different animal rescue groups that will be happy to take donations. There are collars, leashes. If you have pillows, blankets, coats, like you were mentioning, we had that very tough cold spell. So the shelter that I volunteer at, they had coats on because the dogs still need to get some exercise. Yeah. So if there's volunteers to do it. So some generous person donated a few coats. That was really welcoming to have that. So if you are decluttering and need to, you want to donate some stuff, there are many rescue organizations that would be happy to take that.
Will they take treats? Do they have to be opened or
depends?
Okay.
Every place is different. Right. So give your nearest shelter a call and see what they're willing to take.
Blankets too. So if you're decluttering blankets, that's another project. Blankets, you can donate to them to the shelter too, right?
A lot of places will take a lot of things. You'd be surprised. Call ahead though.
Awesome.
Not everyone is open hours that you might think. So call ahead. Okay, number 12, desk drawer, which is one that I suggested to her, which she took off the list and added it back on. I love desk drawer organizing.
Desk drawer, so it could be anywhere. It could be the junk drawer. It could be the top drawer of your home office in the desk. It could be your desk at work. People say, oh, it's really organized. I don't need to do anything with it. This happened in a home office last week. She's like, it's fine. It's okay. It's workable. We took everything out, reorganized it, made it look really awesome for her to grab stuff, and she threw out some stuff. When we were done, she's like, oh my God, this is better than like it was before. So just because you think, oh, it's working, it's okay, it can be better. Just think about that as you're going through. It can be better. It always can be better.
And you can do that, say you do that once a month or once every 2 months, because say you're just trying to get clean off the top of your desk before you leave for the end of the day, stuff filters into those desk drawers, then, just revamp.
Right.
You get extra business cards, you get extra Post-it notes, you get extra pens, so just empty it out every now and then, and you'll feel a lot better. Sometimes you'll find things like hard discs, right?
There's just, how old are these? Yeah,
there's just extra stuff in there. You're like, what is this? You never know.
Right. You never know what you're going to find. You can find money. I find a lot of money in those drawers.
Yeah, gift cards,
credit cards, checks, uncashed checks.
Now you really want to start.
Now you really want to go through your
desk drawers. This was a fun one. Kristin, thank you so much.
Thank you, Molly.
We'll post this as well. You can always find Kristin's articles on our website, GoLocalProv, and then, of course, all of our segments are posted there as well. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Molly.
As always.
Thank you.
Everyone hang tight as we get ready for our next guest on GoLocal Live.